Hello everybody, I'm Yoshikigami, President of Boss. I'm talking from Hamamatsu, Japan. So today, Matt Knight is joining. So good morning, Matt.
Morning, or should I say afternoon, Yoshi-san, but hello to everyone joining us. This is Talk with Boss, our regular live stream where we dive into a different Boss topic. And Yoshi-san, do you want to introduce the theme for this stream?
Yes. Today we are going to talk about Space Echo. Last week we announced two new Space Echoes, RE-2 and RE-202. We are talking about them.
Yes, super exciting. We've been very excited to release these for quite some time. So as always, encourage you to post your comments, thoughts, feelings in the chat box, and we will certainly be looking at those throughout the stream. Now, before we talk about the new product, Yoshi-san, I think we should talk a little bit about the RE-201, which was the originator of these kind of units, released all the way back in 1974. So perhaps for anyone joining who's not familiar, do you want to explain a little bit about what the 201 and Tape Echo actually is?
Okay, Tape Echo, that name shows what is that, So Tape Echo is using magnetic tape, recording the sound onto the tape, magnetic tape, and play back that recorded sound. So that is kind of like echo, but unique point is it's not like a cassette tape. You guys know cassette tape?
I remember cassette tape.
Yeah, maybe I know, that is, one way playback. So you need to rewind. But Tape Echo's tape is kind of loop one. So it's rotating forever. So, and also by using a lot of mechanism. So that's provide very unique Space Echo sound.
Yeah. So I think that kind of mechanism and that running tape, does that help create the kind of unique sound?
Yeah, of course. That's mechanical structure gives you very much unstable sound. It's like a difference between digital and analog. So for example, another example is watch. Yes, mechanical watch and quartz watch. Quartz is very much accurate.
Yeah.
But people want to buy very expensive mechanical design watch, but they don't want to get time skew or something. But Tape Echo, that skew is good for sound. You can get very much vibration of the sound, modulation. Because tape has sometimes shake or slip by mechanism, and also the sound itself is changing a little bit. Tape, magnetic tape, and also magnetic head has kind of like saturation. So that is like a tube amplifier, such kind of unstable vibration and also compression, saturation gives us very natural, very good pitch modulation and sound compression. They are very much unique of Space Echo sound.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is these are kind of structurally unavoidable changes in sound, but have been very well received over the last sort of 40 years.
Yes.
Again, AIDS, I think, is in the musician's ultimate kind of tone, having those kind of things in the unit. Also, one thing we should point out, which is a few people have asked, is originally the RE series was released under the Roland brand, but also there was more to the lineup than just the 201. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the other units we had at the time?
Yes, RE series has a lot of models. Before RE-201, we had RE-100 and 200. They are a little bit different mechanism. And also then we had RE-150 and 201 and 301. After that, we have a 501 and a rack mount Space Echo 555.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very heavy rack mount tape echo unit.
Huge rack mount unit, I remember.
Yes. Yeah. And also RE-201 is the most popular Space Echo because that's price is reasonable, maybe around 1,000 US dollar. And we produced RE-201 for 14 years. And approximately we shipped 67,000 units.
Yeah, that is amazing. I had no idea. So many units, especially considering the detail mechanisms inside. And I think many people would class the 201 as a kind of masterpiece of tape echo. You know, certainly one of the most iconic units, and I think that's because it has many iconic features which other tape echoes don't have. Do you want to maybe pick a couple and explain the detail about 201 sort of unique features?
Yes. So before talking about a unique point, maybe watching the inside of mechanism is better to understand.
Yeah.
Yes. So that you can see tape, you know, that's a free running system. This is the most innovative funk design of RE-201 from RE-100 and 200. So originally 100 and 200 used kind of like a tape magazine, you know, that is rewind tape from outside and putting off the tape from the center. So that is very much, you know, stressful for tape itself. But free-running system solves that problem. So it's a very low, less load, and so reducing tape exhaustion. So it's very much durable, and free-running system reduce the valve, and you know it's very much durable, so you can use for a long time. Otherwise, you know, very beginning design, it's easy to cut the tape.
Yeah, I think you know, one of the great things about that free running design was the fact that the tape could last longer. So actually, you know, early units had a more regular tape replacement, but the 201 was much less frequent, and a part of that was down to that free running tape design. And as well, from what I understand from that image, we've also got the record and playback sounds on the kind of right part of that image. So that's what's used to actually record the sound.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain a little bit about the kind of record and playback heads?
Yep. So this picture from left to right, tape is running, and you can see 5 heads. The first one, left side head is erase head, then recording head, then we have 3 playback head. So in older days, the other manufacturers has also tape echo, but they have only 1 playback head. But RE-201 has 3 head, placed equally spaced. So that 3 head combination provide very much unique character of the echo sound.
Yeah, it's you know, those unique patterns, again, very musical, something that the musicians could use as a kind of bit of inspiration. So I think that's a really interesting point with the 201. But as well, I think something that was a great feature of the 201, and again, iconic in its own right, is the fact that the RE-201 has a unique spring reverb design as well, right?
Yeah, so spring reverb is very much familiar with guitarists. So you guys know spring reverb. So
Yeah.
the RE-201 was using Z-shaped structured spring reverb in the tank, spring tank.
Right.
That was used to JC120 as well. But JC120 we are still producing, so now that is using a little bit different spring reverb unit. And also RE-201 you can off cut the echo sound. So that means you can use reverb, only reverb sound. And RE-201 has another unique point. At that time, other manufacturers tape echo, once you turn on the power switch, so always tape is running. But RE-201 has foot switch. You can on off foot echo sound by foot switch. So when you off the echo sound, foot switch remove pinch roller from capstan. Then tape stop. That is kind of like a totally ultimate carryover function. I don't know this is good for not, because when you restart echo sound, you have to listen, recorded sound again.
I think again, throughout our entire history, we've always just looked at improving and designing the kind of a unit to make it as functional as possible. And the fact that you can stop the tape, obviously you've stopped any unavoidable noise when the tape was running. And of course that led to longer tape life and less maintenance.
Yeah.
So, ultimately I think a great function to have, but maybe not many people know the tape actually stops. Just coming back to the reverb for a second, is there any other sort of unique features with the reverb that maybe people don't realize?
Yeah, probably not so many guys recognize that thing, but the unique point is connection of the echo and reverb. So if you image like a compact pedal, so maybe echo then reverb. So that means all echo sound get the reverb sound. But RE-201 is connecting as a parallel. So that is parallel connection. So only direct gets reverb sound. The echo is different.
Ah, interesting. I didn't know that. I always assumed that the echo sound ran into the reverb. So effectively echo and reverb sounds are individual and then mixed to mono at the end. Oh, that's quite cool. I didn't realize that.
You are totally pedal guy, so it's natural.
I just assumed, I imagined always kind of a series connection, but that, I think again these sort of things add to the unique sound. And I think another unique character of the 201 is not only that echo and reverb sound, but also the direct sound has a unique character as well, right?
Yes. So RE-201 has a preamp section, and the preamp section designed by discrete circuit. Then that is two-stage common emitter circuit, and that is kind of like similar to guitar amplifier. So the preamp sound has a unique character. That's kind of like strong sound, because common emitter circuit produce second harmonic sound. It's the same to tube amplifier, right? And also you'll get saturation, kind of like a drive sound in the preamp section. So you get drive and compression feel from the preamp section. That is very much good feeling.
Yeah, I think the preamp and the unique character of the preamp is one of the reasons that people have used RE-201s, and I know some people use it just for the preamp. I think doesn't Brian Setzer, I think, has just a kind of space echo for the just his preamp sound as well to kind of drive his amplifiers.
Yeah. Also, he has a very much nice slapback sound. But actually, he is using RE-301.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. He didn't use chorus probably, but he is using RE-301. Yeah. By the way, I had a chance to try his riffs on his stage, right before his concert.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of a lucky guy, I think.
Lucky guy. Yes. Always. That is the biggest merit to work hard as a boss president.
Yeah. Yeah. And but again, I think, like you say, guys like that, preamp sound, super unique, and it kind of all of the things we talked about there add to the unique character of the 201 and why it's so popular. So before we move on to the new products, which I'm sure people have got some questions, thought we'd just check in with the audience. As always, everyone watching, please post any comments. We'll say hello to a few people. So Edwin, Indalo joining us. I hope I pronounced that correctly. James says, can't wait to have the RE-2. We'll talk about the RE-2 shortly. Joshua, again, very excited. Lou, Just Alliance. Hello, mate. We've got Steve, Isaac joining us. Nathan, Bimo, Lewis. So many people. And there's also some message in Japanese there, Yoshi-san, that I can't read, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hello from California. So yeah, lots of people saying great job on the new pedals as well, and some people saying also great for vocals. So yeah, we're going to dive into the new products now, and again we've talked about the unique character of 201. So Yoshi-san, should we talk about the 202? Let's talk about the new one. So RE-202 has a very close production number. Maybe we'll start there to the 201. Is there any kind of meaning behind RE-202?
Yes. We are an originator of Space Echo, right? And we wanted to reproduce Space Echo sound by using modern technology. So that is very much huge pressure to us. Some guys just use our legendary name, and but they have no pressure because people don't expect too much. But once we touch such a reproducing legendary product, we have to guarantee the best sound, sometimes better sound of the original. So when we made a CE2W, that's the same. We had a huge pressure. And also this time, we reach out very high level of reproducing RE-201 sound. So, of course, giving my team the pressure, first I decided to use 202 number. Yeah,
I think as we've mentioned, the charm of the RE-201 is very wide ranging, and I guess reproducing this unit, and as you said, taking the name, taking that idea, and reproducing it faithfully is a very, very tough job. As you said, lots of pressure. And I think people are also thinking, oh well, in the past we have had Space Echo models in RE-20 or DD500, DD200.
Yep.
But this time, why did we recreate the sound with a new format, so a totally new product this time?
Yeah, so we released RE-20 in 2007. Yes,
wow.
So 15 years we produced RE-20, and we got a lot of good reputation from the market. But after that, our technology is always improving, and also we released DD500 and DD200. So we have a lot of know-how, And but this time, for very much core space echo fans, we wanted to make best space echo with modern technology. So we investigated what sound is space echo key factor from zero. You know, of course, ZD500, 200, they have RE-201 simulated sound, but this time we simulate the space echo sound much more high level.
Yeah, so, you know, as you said, starting from the beginning, and I understand that the engineer spent a huge amount of time on the analysis. So I guess, as you said there, this means that Boss completely redesigned the Space Echo sound and model with the latest technology.
Yep. So we are working very hard to simulate the original RE-201 sound. And we have a very good mint condition RE-201 unit, but only one unit is not enough because all the each unit has a different sound. So we borrowed another unit from our employees. You know, luckily we have a very nerd employee. So if we were in Japan, we have to lend your unit. But
but
shipping is always a problem for such a mechanical unit. So
of course,
we try to find a good unit in local. And also this time we investigated and surveyed a lot of points. What is an important parameter for reproducing space echo sound? So, you know, we spent a lot of time. So during our investigation, we started to use new tape, but tape was broken, cut.
So I think from what I understand, the RE-201 tape cartridge that says, the manual says 300 hours of life. So engineers have spent at least 300 hours just on the tape analysis of that unit. So that's amazing, and again shows the level of detail, like you spoke, that the engineers have gone into to design that. So maybe we should talk a little bit deeply about some of the features. I know many people have been asking questions already. Firstly, you know, what were one of the important points to reproduce with the RE-201 sound? Yeah,
this time most important point is wow and flutter parameter.
Right.
You know, mechanical design gives a lot of unstable situation. That is kind of like they are making the sound of tape echo, space echo. You know, sometimes running the tape, then mechanical is not perfect. Sometimes having a strip between pinch roller and capstan, and also the tape friction is not stable, so that gives wow and sometimes flutter. They are very important point for the sound. So we are trying to reproduce such a mechanical kind of like wow and flutter. So you know, this time we decided to have wow and flutter parameter. But actually, I was not positive about flutter thing. You know, when I was working at the production line, I produced RE-201, and flutter is not good for pure sound. The wow is maybe okay, but too much wow is not good. But the flutter always not good for sound. So we checked the motor. The almost flutter is produced by vibration of motor spindle.
Right.
So we measured the vibration by using micrometer. So in that's my experience. I was thinking Flutter is not good, but this time engineer said, please try. So I tried the sound, and also with overdrive distortion sound. Then Flutter gives me much more strong warm sound. So I changed my mind. So okay, yeah, a little bit Flutter is good for the sound.
Yeah, I think just coming back to what we were saying there, you know, we were always, you know, Roland were always trying to make the most perfect unit and avoid any issues. But actually, the analog mechanism, you know, of course, adds that character. But I guess with WoW and Flutter, it's not a regular change. So I guess maybe very difficult to try and reproduce it naturally. But having tried the 202, actually the knob does recreate a kind of very natural WoW and Flutter feeling to the echo sound.
Yeah. So when you try the WoW and the Flutter, please set the 12 o'clock first. That is always we set 12 o'clock position is our recommended setting, you know.
Yeah.
But actually our benchmark RE-201, that was kind of like a 2 o'clock position because, you know, it's aged, very much aged. So,
yeah.
And also Flutter sound, as I said, it's a little bit, you know, sometimes dirty, noisy sound. So it's a little bit suppressed compared to WoW.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting, you know, because depending on the unit and depending on the age of the unit, you know, the modulation amount can be too strong or weak, depending on what you like. But now you can freely control that on the 202, which I think is just a really nice touch to add some character depending on what you're doing. But also, on top of that, people are talking about the new and the aged button on the panel. So do you want to talk a little bit about the reason why these are selectable controls on the 202?
Yeah, as I said before, we faced the trouble, you know, tape was broken. And then we changed the tape to new one. Then you know, engineer said, well, sound is totally different. So, you know, probably almost all of people are expecting the tape space echo sound. It's a very much aged sound. So in that experience, we decided to have aged and new setting. And also the WoW and the Flutter effect is changed by condition of the tape. You know, new tape has much more friction between tape and head because of that rough face, surface, you know. That provides much more WoW and Flutter. And old tape is very much smooth, less friction. So that is a kind of like analog behavior, right? So we decided to simulate such effect.
Yeah, I guess it's very difficult for anyone to have experienced RE-201 fresh from production line. You know, so like you say, many people have a kind of understanding of a maybe more aged unit. So I think it's great that we've gone to such detail to reproduce a wide range of kind of almost 201 sounds. And then another important part that I think is on the 202, which you know, people are asking about, and I know some people talked about, is the saturation control. Do you want to talk a little bit about how that works and interacts with the unit? Yeah,
saturation knob changes compression field and also driving field. You know, RE-201 has a unique preamp section that provides very much unique compression sound, and also magnetic tape and magnetic head. They have something magnetic saturation. So that provides another compression sound. So we wanted to control these analog circuit compression field and also tape and head compression field.
Yeah, and again, I think interesting to take all of those elements and make a very natural feeling control. And of course, that saturation, that preamp sound is very much a part of the 201 sound. But does the saturation work only for the echo sound?
Oh, you can select just change echo sound after preamp, or you can use after preamp sound as a dry sound. So that means you can use preamp or bypass, you know. So as you said, some guys want to have RE-201 preamp section sound. So and also the other guy has much more, you know, huge system. They want to have more straight bypass sound, so you can select.
Yeah, I think that's you know, that's really interesting. You can have that kind of analog drive-through, or you can have the preamp emulation on or off. So that's a really nice nice point. And to increase the preamp distortion with the 201, the original, the control is not flexible because the input level has to be increased.
Yes.
But of course, with the 202, that control allows you to add all of that in. And if you don't want to color your sound, you can just have analog drive-through. So again, a nice touch and a more modern touch on the 202. So with that, we should probably talk about some of the modes and the delay modes. Some people are asking about that. So the 202 has 12 modes. Are they the same as the original 201?
Oh, number is the same, but mode is different. You know, RE-201 is set to with reverb or without reverb. But RE-202, you can independently control reverb by foot switch. So, and also RE-201 has another additional head, fourth head. So we added 5 new modes. They are mode 8 to 12. And also including different head place. That means, you know, original 201 head, playback head is placed equally, but 202 has a little bit different distance, so you can get a little bit different kind of like feeling when you repeat the sound.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so because obviously, as we said, with the original, 3 playback heads kind of gave some unique character and idea to the musicians to be creative. But now, 202, you can actually enjoy more variations than the original. So again, you know, nice thing for musicians. And the fact that you can also now engage the reverb separately by foot switch. So you've almost got the kind of echo and reverb on separate controls. And talking about the reverb, one thing we should mention, which I think a few people may have missed, but I think is a great feature, is that we have 4 reverb types. So you can have the original 201 spring, but you can also have full, plate, room, and ambience, each with their own sort of sound and atmosphere. So I think that's a really nice touch to, again, making something with a lot of heritage, but also new at the same time. Now, apart from that, Yoshi-san, the other knobs seem to be the same as the 201. Is there any change in the other controls?
Oh, basically, we reproduce same functions, but repeat rate intensity, we are simulate very much detailed behavior as well. So if you turn repeat rate with playback the sound, you can get very smooth pitch modulation. And also, if you turn up intensity volume to near maximum, you can get feedback sound. So, you know, recently, a lot of guys want to have this oscillation sound, right?
Yeah, I think, you know, again, one of those sort of happy accidents to the fact that the unit can do it, but you know, people have used it creatively in their music. So I think that's an important point. Of course, their classic slapback sound is still very popular, but I think the great thing is that lots of people, use that feedback and oscillation control, and having done it myself, I think it's so faithfully recreated on how it's done in the original as well.
Yeah, so this time I asked my engineer to tune this oscillation sound very much carefully, because I saw a guy in New York City, maybe at the Guitar Center. One guy came into the shop and he wanted to try some delay pedals, and he just selected the pedals by using oscillation sound.
Right, okay.
It's crazy, but most of guys very much keen about that oscillation sound. So
yeah, I think, and that's why we have to think, as you said, getting the engineers to understand and think about very detailed elements like that oscillation sound, because it's important to many people. So really, again, highlights how much detail we reproduced. But again, thinking about modern features, something that a lot of people are asking for, I guess the memory function is one of those features that makes the 202 appealing to people today.
Yeah, you can save the setting and recall by foot switch. So the RE-202 has 4 memories on the front panel, but if you use MIDI, you can expand that to 127 memories. So including manual setting, you can change 128 different sounds by using MIDI. So if you use a switcher, you can control Space Echo RE-201 sound by your MIDI system.
Yes, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm using a GT1000 core and an RE-202 and being able to change those presets. But I think the great thing is you can change the presets while you're playing, and the sound carries over and moves between 2 presets. So I think that's, again, a great musical element to add in people. And talking about those foot switches, obviously, as people can see from the unit, you can activate the tape echo and the reverb, as we said, independently, as well as tempo. But we've also included warp and twist effects by the foot switch.
Yes.
Now, maybe for people who don't know, Yoshi-san, do you want to explain a little bit about the warp and the twist functions?
Yep. So warp and twist, I prepared the sound demonstration. Maybe, just explanation is not easy to understand. So start with warp. Vapor. So next, twist. So this is twist. So you can understand how to effect these effects. So we control repeat rate and intensity, and much more complicated. So it's a little bit different from just twist the knobs.
Yeah, it's a totally different way of controlling the parameters rather than, like, say, the kind of more traditional oscillation. And they're very, very interesting effects. And hopefully, again, people will pick up a 202 and use those in creative ways to make music. And that's what we're always excited to see. And of course, if you want, you can add an external foot switch or expression pedal. I love adding an external expression pedal because you can control parameters with your foot in real time, like repeat rate or intensity while performing. But are there any other features with the expression pedal, Yoshi-san?
Yeah, by using expression pedal, you can control, of course, some specific parameters, but not only one. You can change several parameters at the same time. So that's provide you much more wider sound change. So please try such kind of setting. And also RE-202 has 2 input modes, so that works for very much good for studio recording or something. So that has direct mute function as well.
Yeah, yeah. So people using it, again, these are necessary features for people in today's recording, home and live environment, but being able to switch between that guitar mode or line mode, I think is great, and I'm sure many people will enjoy it with vocals or keyboards or even drums, or using it in a mix as well. So some nice additional features there. Now, before we talk about the 2, because yes, as we said, we had 2 products launched, let's just check back in on a few of the comments and some of the people joining. Lewis here just wants to thank for the BB1X. So thank you very much, and thank you for joining. Thank you, Team Boss. Someone says Metal Zone. Guys, always love Metal Zone. Lewis here says, once my gear advisor told me about the passion for the RE2, making sure it paid honour to the original I was sold. I love passion and put true art form in this pedal, so I'm loving it. So thank you very much. Also comments on the look and the design. Obviously the new design of the RE-202, which we haven't talked about necessarily, Yoshi-san, but obviously the new chassis design as well. Lots of people are loving that kind of homage to some of our other products. Lewis has also asked, how much time did we put into making the original? I guess difficult to say an exact time, but at least 300 hours, I think. As we welcome to Paul, Wingman Studios joining as well. Oliver joining. Sunburst Strat is joining as well. Still mentioned subdivisions. I guess that's not what's in the original, but the tape heads give you those divisions on that repeat, and the fact that we've added that 4th tape head gives you these kind of divisions of that delay sound between the beat. Someone's looking here at comparing with the RE-20. As we said, it's a totally redesigned sound engine, so the most latest analysis into this product. So yeah, again, thanks for joining, and as always, appreciate your comments. So Yoshi-san, we should probably talk about the other new pedal, which was the RE-2. And a lot of people are asking, what is the difference between the RE-2 and the RE-202, which were released at the same time?
Yeah, RE-2 is kind of like successor of RE-20. Some guys sent me Photoshop of RE-2.
Yeah.
So I promised them that is on the list. So this time we had to release RE-2 first. And also, you can get almost same function of the RE-20 and improve the sound by small size compact pedal. That is RE-2. And we are using same sound core engine to RE-2 and RE-202. So you can enjoy specific sound even if you use each RE-2 or RE-202. And RE-202 only has a memory function, saturation function, tape condition, and also force head, and also warp function. So those 5 functions are different from RE-2.
Yeah, but as you said, the core sound engine is the same. It's those additional functions. But I was surprised and so happy to see so much of that Space Echo charm condensed into a compact pedal. So I guess that kind of leads to the question, Yoshi-san, what kind of person or player or musician would you recommend for each product?
Yeah, RE-2 is very much compact, so easy to set on your current pedal board. So if you prefer small size, I recommend to prefer RE-2. But if you want to edit much detailed parameter, And also, I love how RE-202 looks very much. You know,
Yes.
this is this is like a, you know, it's not easy to get RE-201 and also keep good condition, but RE-202 gives me a similar feeling to having RE-201.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been lucky enough to have and try both for some time, and I think both have great features and great points. And the core sound, as you say, is the same. It's what you want in terms of features. But I think the 202 is great for someone who wants you know, all of that extra control, and you know, but someone who is very tight on space, you know, maybe RE2 is great for them.
Yeah, we have a very good condition of RE-201, but sometimes it won't work. You know, so 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I don't know why, but just stop.
Yeah, mine is also the same. So always kind of looks beautiful in the studio, but sometimes it has trouble.
Yes.
So I think the 202 or the 2 is great for that. And again, you know, having those different modes, great for studio use as well. But if you want to check about our history and any more details on the product and really deep dive and go over every point, then of course you can check all of the details on our webpage at boss.info as well. So that's all of the questions that we have. We'll just quickly check if there's anything else. Anything else? I think same people are joining. We've got 85 people joining, so thank you very much for everyone coming in this morning. And Oliver here says, I've been using an RE-20 as my main delay forever, so looking forward to trying these new ones. Thank you very much. A lot of people are saying they would get both. So again, thank you very much. And, you know, I think it would be great to start seeing these on people's pedal boards and in studios, and we very much look forward to all of the music that these are going to create in the future as well. Yeah, I think that's everything we have time for. We're almost at 1 hour, kind of our longest stream ever.
Yes.
I think. So yes, thank you very much for joining. So Yoshi-san, we should probably talk about the next stream and the next talk with Boss.
Yes. So we want to change a little bit, you know, slow pace. So how about to have once a month, you know? But instead of that, we want to tell much more deep story. So please looking for that. Maybe next would be April 27th, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems so far away, but
theme is history of Roland Boss reverb.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
And I know you have some history and some development in that area, so I think it would be great to dive a little bit deeper into that area as well. So as Yoshi-san said, the next streaming will be Wednesday, the 27th of April. Usual time, so that's 7:30 a.m. UK time, 3:30 p.m. Japanese time, and 11:30 p.m. In LA. But that'll be April the 26th. So as always, please do leave your impressions and your comments for this stream in the comment box. We'll post the link for the next one very soon, and we look forward to seeing you next time. So thanks very much, and see you soon.
Thank you very much for joining, everybody. See you next